Today, Republican presidential candidate Mike Huckabee is not backing down on his statements when he likened the Iran nuclear deal with the Holocaust. Yesterday, the former governor of Arkansas tweeted this image yesterday that says the Iran nuclear deal is marching the Israelis to the door of the oven.
Now, earlier today, he defended his comments and said that he needs to use powerful language when talking about a nation who makes threats against the Jewish people the way that Iran has.
We need to use strong words when people make strong threats against an entire group of people, as the Iranians have made toward the Jews. This is not empty talk on the part of the Iranians. This is something that they consistently say, even as we're sitting down having a negotiation with them, and they're crying out death to America. My gosh, what kind of negotiation is that?
Answer the critics, Governor, who say that you and some other Republican candidates are doing and saying anything right now simply to be heard over the roar of Donald Trump. Is there some truth to that?
No, there's not, and I'll tell you why. If I was going to make noise about this, don't you think I'd have a better forum than a weekend satellite radio show that I didn't think that many people would even be listening to?
Nancy Cordes joins us now from Washington. Nancy, thanks for being with us. Huckabee's comments are somewhat inflammatory, but it seems like Republicans aren't coming down hard on him the way that they did on Donald Trump. Why is that?
They aren't. You're hearing from a few top Republicans in this presidential race, Vlad, who say that his comments are inflammatory, unnecessary, divisive. But by and large, candidates are staying pretty quiet. And then you have some, like Rick Santorum, who actually say they agree with him. The difference between this and what Donald Trump has said on a whole range of issues in the past is that underneath it all, Republicans do agree with Huckabee's underlying point, which is that he thinks that this Iran deal is bad for the U.S. and bad for Israel. And they're being bolstered by a new CNN poll out today that shows that a slight majority of the American public, 52%, feels the same way.
Nancy, Mike Huckabee has been urging Congress to reject the Iranian nuclear deal. What are you hearing right now about how lawmakers are leaning?
I think you still have an overwhelming majority of Republican lawmakers leaning towards no. You have a number of Democrats who are still on the fence, who say they want to hear more from the administration. Secretary of State John Kerry is testifying on Capitol Hill again today. He'll be testifying before a House committee where I'm sure you're going to hear from very frustrated Republican lawmakers about this deal who have a lot of concerns about it. I do think there's a great risk that this bill could go down in the House and Senate, that led by Republicans, Congress could vote down this deal, but then the president will veto that, and it will be much, much harder for Republicans to then override that veto.